Good afternoon, students.
Good afternoon, sir.
How are you today?
Fine, thank you, sir.
Okay, so you are welcome back to our program, which is God is Able Mathematics Online Teaching and Competition. And today, as we all say, is our online class, which you can see that we are already in it. So today we'll be talking about the factor, and that is under highest common factor and lowest common multiple. So today we'll be discussing about factor of another number. Factor. Now when you're talking about factor, as we all know, factor is that type of number that can divide exactly into another number. I repeat myself, it is that number that can divide exactly into another number. And there are some various examples that we can do. There are some various practices that we can make use of to discover our factor of another number. Now, today, so as I said, factor is that number that can divide exactly into another number without, take note, without a remainder. And I'll be solving some examples. So after I'm done with these examples, we have some of our students that will be the presenters of today. They will also likewise discharge their examples and demonstrate that on the marker board. So when I'm done with mine, those students will come here and present theirs. Now, let's see some examples. How can you identify a factor that is dividing another number exactly? Whenever you can minus this number inside that number, you can minus that number inside that number and you can get 0. Then you should know that that number is a factor belonging to the number given on the back. But once you can divide, and you can see, once you can minus that number inside the number that you are using, as an example, and it doesn't give you 0, then that shows that the number that you use is not a factor of that number. Let's see some examples. Find the factors of the following. Number 1, 20. Number 2, 10. Number 3, 8. Number 4, 15. Number 5, 12. And number 6. Now, I'm going to solve number 1, where the students will be the one to solve the remaining numbers. Now, let me start. Number 1, we are finding the factors of 20. The factors of 20. The first thing is to write those numbers out. And the number must not supersede the number, which is 20. Write them out. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20 result. Now, I'm going to show us how we can know that this number is belonging to a factor or not. We already know that 1 is a factor. Then here we go. Pick the second number and let's check. Check for 2. What you are simply doing is this: minus that factor from that number that has been given on the board. Once you can get 0, then that number that you check is a factor. Once you cannot get 0, you can get any other number apart from 0. Then it shows that that number is not a factor. That's just the proof. Now let's start. 20 minus 2, that's 18. Minus 2, that's 16. Minus 2, that's 14. Minus 2, that's 12. Minus 2, that is 10. Minus 2, that is 8. Minus 2, that is 6. Minus 2, that is 4. Minus 2, that is 2. And lastly, minus 2, that gives us 0. This implies or shows that 2 is a factor of 20. Since we can get 0, it shows that our 2 is a factor of 20. Now let's try out another number. Pick 3. Check for 3. If we check for our 3, start minusing 3 from your 20. Let's start. 20 minus 3, that's 17. Minus 3, that's 14. Minus 3, that's 11. Minus 3, that is 8. Minus 3, that is 5. Minus 3, that is 2. We can see that our 2 is lesser than 3, which implies, but 2 is not giving us 0. This implies that 3 is not a factor of 20. That is how we can discover if a number belongs to the number given above or not. Once you can get 0, then the number is signifying that what? It is a factor. If you cannot get 0, you get another number, it's signifying that it's what? It's not a factor. Now, here comes our students as they present theirs unto you. Thank you. Have a market.
Good afternoon, our watchers. This is God is Able Mathematics Online Teacher Competition. I am a bona fide student of Muslim Secondary School, Ibadan, commonly known as Museko. I am in JSS 3B. I am here to present on how we can identify a factors of another number. Take this as an example. Number 2, that is 10. What are the possible factors of 10? The possible factors of 10, that is 1 to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 itself. So, we have already known that 1 is a factor of 10. or 2 if 2 is a factor of 10. So when we minus this number, it gives us 0. So this implies that 2 is a factor of 10. This is how we can check if a number is a factor of another number. So this implies that 2 is a factor of 10 because it gives us 0 when we minus it. So let's check for 3 to know if it is a factor of 10 or not. So 1 is lesser than 3, but the answer can't give us 0. So 3, this implies that 3 is not a factor of 10. So when we can see a number that gives us 0 if we minus it, that shows that the number is a factor of the number. But when we see a number, when we minus it, it will not give us 0. That is, the number is not a factor of the another number. Thank you.
Good afternoon, our watcher. This is God is Saving Mathematics Online Teaching and Competition. My name is Muda Shikoruga. I am a bona fide student of Muslim Secondary Commercial School, Ibadan, commonly known as Musel. I am in GSS2. I am here to present to you on how you can identify a factor of another number. The possible factors of 8 are 1, 2, 3, 4,
mathematics online teaching and competition. My name is Abigail Daya. I am 25 students of Muslim Secondary Commercial School, Ibadan, commonly known as Secondary. I am in GSS 2, so I am here to present on how you can identify factors of another number. Let's take for example. Possible factor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. As we know that factor of 1 can go in 15. Let's check for 2. 15 minus 2 is equal to 13. Minus 2 is equal to 11. Minus 2 is equal to 9. Minus 2 is equal to 7. Minus 2 is equal to 5. Minus 2 is equal to 3. Minus 2 is equal to 1. This implies that 2 is not a factor of 15. Let's check 3. 15 minus 3 equal to 2 equal to 12 minus 3 equals to 9 minus 3 equals to 6 minus 3 equals to 3 minus 3 equals to 7. This implies that 3 is a factor of 15. So this is how we can identify factor of another number. Okay.
Good afternoon, our viewers. This is God is Able Mathematics Online Teaching and Communication. My name is Kyle Fawaz. I'm here to this is Bonafide Muslim Secondary Commercial School. I am here to present how you can identify. Factor of another number. Thank you. Take for example. 20. Positive number. 1, 2, 3, check for five. This is two and five is not possible of 12. Six show that this is a factor's numbers and so 5 cannot go in 12 because it's not a factor. 5 cannot go in 12, impossible. But 6 can go, 6 can show that they can go in 12.
Good afternoon, our watchers. This is God is Able Mathematics Online Teaching and Contribution. My name is Ismail Retired. I am a bona fide student of Muslim Secondary Commercial School, Ibadan, commonly known as Miseko. I am JSS 3A, so I am here to present on how you can identify a factor of another number. Take for example. Positive factor. One,
2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We also know that 1 is a factor of 6. Let's check for 6. 6 minus 2 equal to 4, minus 2 equal to 2, 2 minus 2 equal to 0. So it's a factor of 6. Check for 4. 6 minus 4 equal to 2. So 2 is greater than 4. That means 4 So why 2 is going to 6? Because it's giving 0. Why 4 is not a factor of 6 is because it's not giving 0. Thank you.
Alright, so as you can see that our presenters has presented well, and as you can see on the marker board. So you can see what they have done so far. Whenever you see that you are getting a number that is lesser than the number and it's not giving you 0, it shows that that number is not a factor. But the moment you can use the number to the moment you can minus that number from the number you are looking for and you can get 0, it shows that the number that you minus from the number that you are working is a factor of that number. Now, so that is the presentation that we have for you this afternoon. Join us next week as we are going to be buttressing more on still factorization of another number. Thank you.